Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Paranormal Live Unity right here, or Paranormal Unity Live, I should say. Tonight's topic is on different hauntings. What are they? Now, there are many, so I'm going to open it right up. If you know what the hauntings are, then hey, come on board, give me a yell, let me know what you are. What are they? What do they contain about? Why are there so many different types of hauntings? So that is the topic for tonight's kōrero, talk, whatever you want to call it. We're here tonight to discuss what are the different types of hauntings. Now, before we kick it off, there was a question the other night about do spirits stay in one place at one time. Well, I have actually found an article where it actually states that ghosts don't discriminate. Now, let me read this a little bit about it. It goes like this: ghosts do not discriminate between houses, buildings, property, or people. Ghosts haunt whatever they feel a connection to whenever they feel like it. Sometimes a haunting is quiet and barely noticeable, while other times a haunting is loud and disruptive to its environment and the people experiencing it. Hauntings are something of an enigma. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to a haunting, and yet there is always a pattern. While some may not believe there is a pattern to hauntings, if we were to look hard enough at these hauntings, we would see that there is indeed a method to the madness. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Ghosts don't discriminate. Why not? Why don't they? Does anybody have the answers out there tonight? Anyone? If you have, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what your answers may be towards it. So how about you jump on here and give me a yell and see what's going on. Now, apparently some people are actually watching Shortland Street tonight at 7 o'clock, so we probably won't get anybody here. So until after 7:30. So if you want to jump on board and have a kōrero with me about what you believe in different hauntings and why they may exist. Hey Nene, how you doing? Good to see you on. The topic tonight, Nene, is different hauntings. If you just missed out, hey Annie, how are you? I decided that we were going to change the whole forum around in this room and make it more better, make it more exciting, make it more different compared to what we've been talking about. Tonight's topic is on different hauntings. Now, I've come across a few articles that I would like to share with you guys and get your take on it. Now, the other night we were actually asked if spirits stay in one place. For me, I said no because I didn't really believe that they stayed in one place unless they really, really wanted to. So I went on to Uncle Google today and I typed up about different types of hauntings and I came up with this one here. And it says, ghosts don't discriminate. I thought, okay, that's kind of interesting. So I read further. And this is what it actually says about how ghosts don't discriminate. So I want to get your take on this, and I want you guys to tell me what you believe in it, what you think about it, what you think different types of hauntings are, why they occur. And this is what it says about ghosts not discriminating. Ghosts do not discriminate between houses, buildings, property, or people. Now, I thought that was kind of out there. They don't discriminate between buildings, property, or people. Ghosts haunt whatever they feel a connection to, whenever they feel like it. Sometimes a haunting is quiet and barely noticeable, while other times a haunting is loud and disruptive to its environment and the people experiencing it. Hauntings are something of an enigma. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to a haunting, and yet there is always a pattern. While some may not believe there is a pattern to hauntings, if we were to look hard enough at these hauntings, we would see that there is indeed a method to the madness. There is a wide variety of hauntings occurring in the world today. Anyone got any take on that one? Has anyone got anything that they would like to put up against this one? Hey, Moringa, how you doing? Good to see you in the room. So for me, it's like, okay, well, I really didn't believe that spirits actually do stay in one spot. Some may. Some just don't want to leave that environment. And I always believe that some will travel from place to place to place. So that's what I found on Uncle Google today. They've even got classic and historical hauntings. Now, this is their classic and historical hauntings. Okay? They are this: soft footsteps heard on steps or floors, doors opening and closing, lights flickering, a gentle touch or tap on the shoulder, electronic interference, and pleasant but indistinguishable scents, floral perfumes, foods, cigars, etc. Okay, so they are trying to tell us that those are the classic hauntings. Now, a lot of people out there can say, oh, well, let's take a stab at the first one. Soft footsteps heard on steps or floors. A lot of people can say, well, that's simple. That's somebody in the background walking around, you can just hear them. Okay? Got no proof because there are no cameras there, for example. So how do we know that nobody is walking around? But we're getting it on EVP. That's a fair comment and that's a fair answer. Hey, Elaine, welcome aboard. Then you got doors opening and closing. Again, people will say that it's a breeze, it's a wind. You can't really prove it because you've got no measurements of the weather. You haven't got a weather meter to prove that it's not windy today. That's another fair comment. And the list would go on and on and on. So what is your take between classic hauntings and ghosts that don't discriminate? Can anyone elaborate on those for me? What is your take, ladies? Can you explain the meaning of a residual haunting? A residual haunting is where it repeats itself time and time and time and time again. That's what a residual haunting is. Now, I'm glad that you actually brought that up, Moringa, because I actually did find a write-up about residual hauntings. Now, this is what they say about residual hauntings. For me, I've learned about residual hauntings like a tape recorder. It plays over and over and over again, which means that the person is repeating their life in death. So, for example, if a person, used to be a good cleaner, loved to clean the house, whether it be male, whether it be female, that person would play over their life, not even knowing that you exist at all. And so what it would do is that it would play out cleaning the house. That is a residual. It'll do it non-stop. So you'd see it in the lounge, then you would see it in the kitchen, then you would see it probably in the wash house. Then if it used to be once upon a time, there used to be a staircase in the house, you would actually see the spirit climbing the stairs, even though the stairs don't exist. This is what it says a bit about residual hauntings. Hey, Jeremy, welcome to the show tonight. Residual hauntings are a common type of haunting, although witnesses of residual haunting aren't exactly seeing a ghost or spirit. They're actually picking up on the residual psychic or emotional energy of an event that took place at that location in the past. For this reason, residual hauntings are sometimes called place memories. Hey Lynn, welcome aboard. Good to see you. So what they're trying to say is that you're not actually seeing a spirit, but you're just seeing a psychic What is it again? Where did I see it? A psychic or emotional energy of that event. And that's what they say that a residual haunting is. So that's what the topic is tonight about, is all different types of hauntings. Why does it happen? Why are there so many? Anyone out there can explain or help me out? Maybe we can work this all out together. Why are there so many different hauntings? I have heard of so many since I've been doing this for the last 7 years that I'm still trying to figure out why. Why are there? Let's start with the residual part. They say, once again, a residual haunting is psychic or emotional energy. You're not actually seeing a spirit, you're not actually seeing uh, a total form of a ghost. So they believe it's just a form of psychic emotional memory. What is your take on that? Does anybody out there have any kind of clue or answers for me? Because I'm trying to figure this one out. They're just saying, once again, it's a psychic or emotional energy. You're not actually seeing a spirit. How many out there believe that's true, and how many out there believe it's false, and why? Give me your answers and explain to me what your answers are, why you chose those answers. Because to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe that if I ever saw a residual, which I have once, that it was just a psychic emotional memory. Whose memory? Theirs? Ours? Maybe we're thinking about it too much and all of a sudden pop up it comes. Who knows? And that's why I'm asking the panel tonight, what is your take, ladies? Moringa, can you give me a reason to it or an answer to it? What about you, Elaine? Annie? Nene? Jeremy even? What's your take on it, dude? And this write-up actually came from a guy by the name of Richard Felix, who belongs to Most Haunted in Europe. So has anybody got any take? I hope we aren't lagging people because I'm not seeing any responses at the moment. Let me just pull it up and have a look. Hey Brooke, how you doing? So right now, that's what I like to see. I'm at Janet, so not on Lappy, so can't type much. Sorry, too slow. Hey Stacey, good to see you anyway. Um, Hang on a minute, I'll be right back. So here it is, Stacey. We're talking about different types of hauntings tonight. Okay, I just got asked about a residual haunting, and I have been doing a lot of checking up on different types of hauntings today to find out what kind of hauntings there are, why do they happen. Mordinger asked about residual hauntings. Now, this is what I found on Uncle Google, and this is by a guy by the name of Richard Felix from Most Haunted, which is a group over in Europe. He states a residual hauntings are a common type of haunting. Although witnesses of residual haunting aren't exactly seeing a ghost or spirit, they are actually picking up on the residual psychic or emotional energy of an event that took place at the location in the past. So, what is your take on that? What they're trying to say to us is that we're not actually seeing a ghost, we're not actually seeing a spirit, we're just seeing a psychic energy. Some would be more sensitive to the psychic energy that is left behind. That is correct, Mortimer. That is so true. That is what I've also heard, that it is actually energy that is left behind from past. And I'm trying to figure out though why. Why does it happen? What makes it happen? I mean, why do they repeat their life and death? Diana, welcome to the show. So that's why we are here tonight. That's why I have made up this topic for tonight. Let's have a quartet about that. Different hauntings. Let's start with the residual. Why is it that they repeat their life and death? I mean, this guy Richard, I've actually seen him in action watching their programs of Most Haunted, and he is quite clued up. But this is what I am not getting, is that a residual, to me, from what I was told and taught, is that it's like a tape deck. It plays over and over and over again. When you see a spirit cleaning out their home, that's a residual, because they don't even know that you're there. They don't even acknowledge you. All they're doing is what they did while they were alive. That, to me, what I was told, is residual. I did not realize that it is exactly a psychic or emotional energy of that event. So what is your take on it tonight, people? Help me out here. Explain to me, what is your take? Residual hauntings. What is your take on residual hauntings? So far, Mordinger, you've come up with some would be more sensitive to the psychic energy that is left behind. And these are the things that I would love to understand, also get a take on other people's stances of different types of hauntings, why you believe they may happen. So right now we're starting off with residual hauntings. Can anyone give me a clue on why it happens? Why do you believe residual hauntings happen? Hey, Mark, good evening and welcome to the show, dude. Good to have you here. Since you've just come in, Mark, here's the topic for tonight's live feed. Different types of hauntings. Right now, we're discussing residual hauntings. What are residual hauntings? What is your take on a residual haunting? For me, it was that I was told, it was simple, that a spirit would replay their life over and over and over again in death. For an example, if somebody was a clean freak, you would see them clean their whole house up. They wouldn't even know that you were there. And so they would continue doing it. That is a residual haunting, and it plays over and over and over and over again. Oh, good to hear that you got the night off, dude. Awesome. You need it. A guy by the name of Richard Felix from Most Haunted, he wrote, residual hauntings are a common type of haunting. Although witnesses of residual haunting aren't exactly seeing a ghost or spirit, they're actually picking up on the residual psychic or emotional energy of an event that took place at that location in the past. So right now I am trying to find out what are your take on residual hauntings. What do you believe a residual haunting is? It seems like that we are lagging in some of the areas. I've actually got two laptops up, and the last one that I got was from Paranormal Unity for some reason, and it's not coming up. Where is that one? It's like right at the top there. So, what is your take on residual hauntings? Now, apparently, some people are watching one of their soapies. What's it called? Stacy, you'd know about it because you watch it. Shortland Street, that's it. Off topic a bit, but I reckon you need a studio type setting. Well, Mark, if you can afford to do one for me, that'd be really, really great. But I can't afford it, dude. So you know what? I do it live, loud, and proud of my home. Until I can do a studio type setting, then I will be able to do one. But at this time, I can't. That's it, Shorty Street, Diana. You're correct. Everybody is watching Shorty Street tonight at 7 o'clock. So, a lot of people ain't going to come in, so they're going to actually miss out and they're going to have to watch this again. So, Diana, what is your take? Unless you're watching Shorty Street and you're going to come back after Shorty Street. If anybody has a take on it, can you please let me know what your take is on residual? Okay, people, I've been sent a private message asking, can we start at the later time of 7:30 so we can all watch Shortland Street? My favorite show, LOL. Not watching it now. Thought I'd watch this and catch up on it later. Thank you, Diana. At least you're going to catch up on it later. So tell me, what is your take on it? What is your take on residual hauntings? Residual haunting, what residual from listening to your recording, it sounds like how they went is how they appear. Well, that's what I was told too, Diana, but from what this guy, Richard Felix, stated is that we're not actually seeing a ghost or a spirit, we're actually picking up on the residual psychic or emotional energy of that event from that location in the past. So it's like, well, if I was to see a spirit cleaning their house up, not knowing that I was there, and carrying on with day to day chores, and then they disappeared, is what I saw real, or was it just a psychic, emotional event? And that's the thing that I'm not getting. You have some people say, this is what happens. You see the spirit, they're just living their life as they did. I mean, they're living their death as they did in life. But then you have some people saying that, well, what you actually saw isn't really real. You're seeing a psychic emotional energy of that event in that location from the past. When I'd connect with spirit, I would see how they pass. So is that residual? I hope I'm spelling it right. Um, Now that's a really good one there, Diana. And to answer that question, I would have to say to be really truthful and honest without trying to make up a story. I don't know. If you see how they passed, I don't think that is a residual. I think that is, well, it could be another side of a residual is that you're actually seeing how they passed on. If you're seeing it all the time and it's repeating itself over and over, well, to me, that is residual because it's playing out all the time. So, what is a residual haunting? Is it that when we go into a building and we're doing an investigation and we actually see a spirit who doesn't even acknowledge us, who doesn't even see us, who doesn't even know that we're there, and just carries on doing what they're doing until they disappear? Maybe, we're watching how they were before their death and then all of a sudden gone. Hey, Angelina, how are you? Is that residual or is that just watching their deaths? Because if it plays over and over and over again and you get to see it time and time again, to me that is a residual haunting because it's playing out. It doesn't have to be a spirit who I said earlier on was a clean freak and is always cleaning up their house. Doesn't have to be that. I don't believe so. Hey, Gordon, how are you? Good to see you in the house. Is it to do with watching them go through their last minutes, their last seconds of life, and you're watching it replay over and over again? To me, that's residual. I thought if they didn't know you were there, it was because they didn't know they had passed or chose not to communicate. No, that is a catch-22. I always got told if it's a residual haunting, they're not going to know that you're there. They're not even going to see that you're there. They're not even going to acknowledge you. So, to me, that is a residual. What you're talking about is when they do notice that you are there, and when they do acknowledge you and all that. That's called an intelligent haunting, which we can talk about after we try to discuss, I guess, this myth, bring it into perspectives of a residual. What is a residual to me? What is a residual to you? What is a residual haunting to everybody else? And that's what I like to do before we actually do move on from residual. What is a residual haunting to you? What is your take on it? Let me hear what your take on is it for residual. If you believe that when you see them passing on and you're seeing it often, Diana, I believe that is residual because it's repeating itself. I could be wrong, but that's what a residual haunting is to me. I don't believe it has to be somebody in a home doing chores, somebody in their home doing the gardens, somebody driving, or somebody who was a passenger on that stretch of road and something happened. 1 minute they're in your view, next minute they're gone. So what is your take on residual hauntings? Let me hear from you. Angelina Angel, yeah, it is a very interesting cordial. Do you have anything to say on residual hauntings? Because that's what, to me, a residual haunting is all about. Can you start your lives at 7:30 instead of 7 so people can watch Shorty? Oh my gosh, I don't believe that. Shorty Street, really? Okay, how about this? From now on, starting tomorrow night, I will tune in at 7:30 so everybody can watch Shorty Street. How's that? Because I'm that type of guy. I'm pretty much down to earth. If you want to watch Shorty Street first and then tune into here, hey, that's cool. Okay, I'm down with that. But anyway, let's get back to the kaupapa. Let's get back to the kōrero. What is your take on residual hauntings? Let me hear from you. How many people can see me tonight? No, I'm clueless. Possibly someone passed with mental illness like autism or OCD. If you can see me and hear me, can you let me know? Because people are saying that they cannot find the page, or they were in the page and it disappeared. So I've got two computers going and I'm seeing both of them. So if you can see or hear me, can you please let me know so I know what's going on, because I'm getting inundated with people saying that they can't find me on Facebook, which means that if you can't find me and I've got two screens up and running, there's something wrong with your connection. We can see you. Thank you, Stacy. Is Shortland Street finished yet, people? So we can get on to this kaupapa about residual hauntings. What are residual hauntings? They just got to go totally out of Facebook to reload. So there you go, folks. If you're having problems um, with your Facebook, go totally out of it and jump back on again. So there you go, folks. If you're having problems, Angelina, so you're telling me that you have never, ever, ever heard of a residual haunting? Hey, Moringa, good to see you back. Okay, a residual haunting is a haunting that plays over and over and over again. A guy by the name of Richard Felix says that a residual haunting that is witnessed is not seeing a ghost or a spirit. They are actually picking up on the residual psychic or emotional energy of an event that took place at that location in the past. That's what his take is on residual hauntings. So here I am. I'm waiting to hear back from you guys what your take is on residual hauntings, and then we can move on to intelligent hauntings. Keen to learn and listen. That's awesome to hear, Angelina. And if you stick around and you stay on here, you will learn a lot more. I can guarantee that, because we have a lot of people on here that have a lot of knowledge, and Stacey's one of them. So, what is your take on residual hauntings? Now that Shortland Street is over, you can start coming in and asking your questions or giving me your take on it. So, does anyone have any take on this one before we move on to the next different type of haunting? Sorry, Stacy, at mine we're watching on her phone. I'm guessing that's supposed to be her phone. Now I'm interested to know more. I thought hauntings were all the same. No, unfortunately, Diana, there is many. There is as we just start off with residual hauntings, then there is intelligent hauntings, then apparently there is poltergeist hauntings, demonic hauntings, and so on and so on and so on. I've even got what they call shadow hauntings. So we can kick off from residual tonight to shadow hauntings. Do residual hauntings occur in more ideal conditions or more dark and damp areas? I don't believe it matters, to be really honest. When they happen, morning, it doesn't matter what the conditions are or darker and damp areas, to be really honest. The TV host Hunter Richard Felix says that a residual haunting is an imprint of negative energy that have been left behind by someone who suffered a tragic, traumatic, premature death, usually a murder, suicide, or an execution. I know of demonic poltergeist in shadow and elemental hauntings too. I actually haven't heard of elemental hauntings, Morning. Do you want to explain more about that? And Alex play with noisy boy. Oh, well, never mind there, Stacy. I'm just glad that you guys are in the room. So, we have so many types of residual hauntings. As Richard Felix said, who is a TV ghost hunter, says that a residual haunting are an imprint of negative energy that has been left behind by someone who suffered tragic, traumatic, premature death, usually a murder, suicide, or execution. Well, what if you went to sleep? Isn't that the same? I mean, that's tragic. You went to sleep and you woke up dead. Isn't it the same as others? You know, isn't it the same of being in a car? You go to sleep, you're the passenger, you fall asleep while the driver's driving, and next minute you're dead. You're doing housework, you have a heart attack, you die, you're dead. Isn't it the same as what he is stating? He is stating it's a tragic, traumatic, premature death, usually a murder, a suicide, or an execution. Why can't it be anything like that, like falling asleep, having a heart attack, being a passenger in a car and the driver crashes and you die? Is it not the same? I believe that it is. So before we can carry on, I need to know, I would really love to know, guys and girls, what is your take on residual hauntings? What if someone dies in an accident? Does their spirit stay where they had the accident, like car accident? That's a really good a good question there, Stacey. Do they or don't they? Who knows? I know there are spirits that's supposed to hang around in those areas, that stay on those roads and cause havoc. Some people have actually pulled over to see if they would like a ride. So, who knows? They could do. So would that be an accidental death? Well, I believe it would be, except for the ones that he states where it's murder, suicide, or execution. I mean, those ones aren't accidental. Those ones are totally legit. I'm going to kill you, stab, stab, shoot, shoot, whatever. There's no accidental about those ones. Falling asleep, sudden death. Doing house chores, heart attack, sudden death. Hopping into a mate's car or into a family car, you're the passenger, you go to sleep because you've been tired, crash, death. Those are all sudden because they weren't expected. But what he's saying here is that it is suffered by someone who's had a tragic, traumatic, premature death, usually a murder, a suicide, or an execution. It seems that these deaths are immediate and the person doesn't have time to react. Exactly. So why does it have to be a traumatic death that he's stating? Why can't it be there? It's sudden. Does it always have to be a traumatic death for it to be residual? In my eyes, no, I don't think so. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on and let's talk about shadow hauntings. What are they? What are shadow hauntings to you? What do they do? Thank you for that smart comment. Go away. I just got a private message saying about a shadow haunting is when you walk past the wall and you shit yourself from seeing your own shadow. People, we don't need that type of garbage come through. If you're not being serious of what the topic is, there is an X button on top of the corner of your page. Click on it. Okay, you don't have to be here. Some hang around that side of death. Yeah, and I've got to agree with you, Diana. I believe that they do as well. I mean, that's where we get different types of hauntings in homes. People die in them. They believe that they're not dead, so, they're going to cause havoc in the homes. Okay, let's take a look at what they've said about shadow hauntings. Shadow hauntings are a very common type of haunting that many of us will have experienced. Perhaps you've woken up suddenly in the night and seen a dark figure standing over the foot of your bed. Those who have experienced this type of haunting call the figures either shadow people or shadow creatures. Let's hear your take on that one, people. What's your take on shadow hauntings? They don't realise they are dead. That's another true one there, Mordinger. To me, it's when they appear as shadow figures, so they don't show up clear. It's a way of showing you they're there without you knowing who or what they look like. That is a great explanation, Diana. There really is. That is an awesome explanation because when people have actually seen shadow people or what they class on here as shadow creatures, you can't really tell what or who they are. Has anybody seen shadow peoples or shadow creatures ever? And if you have, can you describe them? Can you describe them? Can you tell me exactly what it is that you saw? Janet here, yeah, my cousin told me that morning when he has his oh, told me that morning when he has his bike accident. Janet here, yeah, my cousin told me that morning. Oh. So how many people here tonight have actually seen shadow people, or as they've put it as well, shadow creatures. I've seen one before, freaked the bejeebers out of me. Hey Lara, how you doing? You have to catch up, you're late. I think, that they freak anybody out, Diana, to be really honest, that they do. I mean, I think if anybody saw one for the very first time, they would explode in their pants, I'd say. You know, walking around doing an investigation, see one, freak out, kaboom, there goes your pants. Who knows? Well, I see shadow people often. Lara, you want to tell us about your experience? And I mean, tonight is a good topic night on different types of hauntings. We can have this topic with different types of hauntings throughout the week. Me, many times, big and small. Do you want to explain your experience to there, Gordon? What you saw, when you saw it? What did you feel? What did you know? How did it make you feel? Oh, please, we're not here to talk about Shorty Street ladies. Well, I've seen one and it had no defined form of any kind. How did you feel when you saw Mordinger? Did it freak you out? Did it make you jump, startled? What? What was going through your mind? Waiting to hear from you people. This is a topic that should be always spoken about. Let's try and understand what these hauntings are all about, why they happen. Which one? I have been at the kitchen peeling potatoes, looked up and seen my deceased brother looking at me. Gave me a hell of a fright, but when I realized who it was, I felt an overwhelming sense of protection. So did you say anything to your deceased brother? I mean, or did you just stand there in awe? What was it that you did? Because many people have experienced what you have, and their different reactions would probably be different towards yours, and that's why I'm asking. Felt frightened because I couldn't relate its shape to anything familiar. I mean, to be really honest with you, Lara, I probably would have freaked out if I was peeling the spuds and all of a sudden I looked up and there was somebody there, was a family member or any kind of apparition, to be really honest. I've always seen shadows out the corner of my eyes. When I turned my head, they had gone. Just thought it was my vision playing tricks on me until they became a fuller, more obvious figure. Went to house on weekend. Virgin was very cold. Man's shadow on wall has been there for a while. Started at top of water, now sitting about halfway down. What does that mean? What does this mean? That's a real difficult one to answer, Gordon, and I really don't have an answer for that. I have no reason to give you or no answer to give you, and I'm not going to lie to you about it and make up a story, but I really don't have a clue why it would start from the top of the wall and now is sitting about halfway down. I wouldn't have a clue why that is happening. I really couldn't tell you that, mate. I'm sorry, but I'm doing the best that I can to try and understand myself about different hauntings and different reasons why shadows would do that. So, yeah, I can't answer that without giving you a story of why it could be, and I'm not going to start doing that. I was woken up by a shadow figure standing at my door. First time I'd ever seen it. Still to this day, I'm not sure who it was. Did it startle you in any way, Diana? Did you trip out? What was your reaction? What was your feeling? What was your thoughts? I dropped the spuds, jumped, freaked out, was in awe, but being my brother, I didn't feel scared. I always felt his presence, but to witness it was amazing. I could imagine it was amazing, very amazing. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to take a very, very short break, and I will be right back with you very, very soon. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'm back. Hey Desiree, welcome to the show. Glad to see you here. Now, you're probably all wondering why is it that I always take a break in the middle of my show. Um, Reason for it is because I have to actually stretch my back. I've just been to the specialist today, and they are sending me down to Wellington for a back surgery. So that's the reason why I have to kind of stand up, take a break, and then come back again and sit down. So I'm just waiting on the letter from Wellington now. So yeah, that's why I've been taking breaks, ladies and gentlemen, to stretch my back. From what I was told by the specialists here, um, they're going to try and fuse my back. So yeah, so just bear with me. It doesn't mean that I'm going to quit what I do because I love it. Doing the paranormal is my life. It's everything that I live for, besides my children and besides my family and my closest friends. So, you get the bad news and you just got to learn to cope with it. So that's why I have a break. Okay, anyway, back to it. On same wall, other side is the shadow of a small boy. Did find out that this one of a set of twins, one died out here, lived there as a boy, sleeps in this room. Who talks to him? He belongs to the sister of the boy who lived. Hope you can understand this. I'm trying to understand it, Gordon. Maybe if you want to try and reword it. I think I'm trying to get what you mean, but I'm not too sure, and I don't want to assume, my friend, that you know what you're trying to say. So, is this place your own place, or are you just house sitting? I know you went to the house on the weekend. See, right now, I'm reading what you've just said, Gordon, on this side, but I've also got another computer that I'm watching to make sure that nothing falters. So, then I've got to make sure everything is going smoothly. So right now I'm just catching up. So, has anybody got any other talks about these shadow hauntings? Any more takes on it before we move on to another type of haunting? But we can always come back if you've just jumped on here and you're trying to figure out what we are talking about. Tonight's topic is about different types of hauntings and why they happen. So let's check out intelligent haunting. What is an intelligent haunting to you? What is it to you? What do you believe an intelligent haunting is? is an intelligent haunting to you? To me, an intelligent haunting is when they touch you, when they interact with you, when they move objects um, that you're witnessing, or that they've moved it and you know where you've put them, and all of a sudden gone. Hey Brandon, how you doing, mate? And that's what an intelligent haunting is, where when they touch you, simple, move things, move objects, just to let you know that they're there, to say, hey, here I am. What is your take on intelligent hauntings? Let's hear it from you guys. For God's sake. Okay, please. Hey Alan, how you doing, mate? Great. I'm glad that you have joined us. Hey Alan, just because you've just come into the room, I'll bring you up to speed. We are talking about different types of hauntings and what do they mean for you. I.e., we've just covered parts of shadow hauntings, residual hauntings, and now we are actually doing intelligent hauntings. So what is your take on any one of those hauntings? Or you could give us your take on a whole lot of them, my friend. Intelligent haunting is where the spirits communicate through moving things and touch on the arm. The spirit is active, physically moving things or felt. Those are both awesome answers. Let me tell you what they have actually said in Uncle Google here. This is their take on intelligent hauntings. Intelligent hauntings, also known as interactive hauntings, are what most people consider to be a ghost. It is a traditional or classic haunting. Now, what the heck is a traditional or classic haunting? Okay, that's what they're saying there, an intelligent haunting is. In these type of haunting, a ghost or spirit may manifest or communicate in some other way. This can include leaving signs, clues, or moving objects. It is believed that intelligent hauntings are the cause of cold spots in rooms. However, the spirits usually don't intend to cause any harm to those who encounter them. Often in intelligent hauntings, the spirit requires help from the living world or has a message delivered to those that they have left behind, sorry. The spirit might not know they have passed, but often have unfinished business and may need help to pass on. Unlike shadow haunting, these type of hauntings can result in identifiable apparitions with facial feature and clothes. So that's what they are saying in this part here of intelligent hauntings. Now they say that they actually move objects like this pen that I'm holding right now, and they move it so you can see it. That's what the interpretation I'm getting from it. So that's how they try to get you to realize that they're there. Now, if it was me and I was trying to get somebody's attention, I throw a rock at their head. You think that'll get their attention pretty smartly? No, I'm just joking around. I mean, I've actually witnessed objects being moved in a bar that I did years ago. I actually saw a couple of glasses being moved, which was really, really buzzy because I'd never seen it before. But that's what they normally do, is that they move objects. They touch you. They interact with you. They want you to know that they're there, and the reasons why they're saying it is because, from what has been told here, that the spirit might not know they have passed, but often have unfinished business and may need help to pass on. Who all agrees with that one? Well, that's what I saw as I recognized my brother. The spirit is active, physically moving things or felt. He was full figure dressed in his cloak and hat. Hey Maria, welcome to the party. That's really awesome to hear, Lara. I'm really blown away from that. I really truly am. And I wish I had been able to see a lot that you've witnessed, because that would just blow my mind, to be really honest. It really would. Maria, just to bring you up to scratch, we are talking about different types of hauntings. What are they? Why do they happen? What is your take on some of the ones that we have already covered? And I'll let you know what they are. Is shadow haunting. What's your take on shadow hauntings, Maria? Residual hauntings, and now we're up to intelligent hauntings. So, I'm just reading what Lara has witnessed, what Mordinger has stated. What is your take on any given hauntings? Why are there so many? Why can't there just be one haunting? Why can't you have a intelligent, residual, shadow haunting all wrapped into one? That would be true. They may have unfinished business to complete. Yeah, exactly. Morning, you're right. They may do. It also states that they don't actually believe that they are dead, but they need help being shown where to go. It changed my grieving. I have since found peace and acceptance. Wow. What can you say about that, Lara? Peace and acceptance. I'm glad that it changed your way of grieving. I really do. And that's just beautiful what you just said. Since I have accepted that comes through often. He comes through often. And that's very special to hear that he actually comes and sees you quite often. It really is. It's beautiful. And to know that you've actually found peace and acceptance. That is beautiful. Alan. Hello, sir. Alan, it's John. Okay? Call me John, please. But thank you very much for the serve. Intelligent spirit is known as an interactive spirit. Will knock when you ask, move things. Residual spirits, kind of like a tape or repeat, will just do its thing and give no intelligent response, but most likely to be caught on IR full spec cam. The stone tape theory comes in here. The spirit is attached to an item. That is so cool. It really is, Alan, and you're absolutely right. It is. What you have just written down, what you've just said is 100% bang on. Communicating spirit are the spirits that will scratch, bite, knock things over because they get a reaction and could be the old way they can. Communicate could go on for hours. Shadow haunting I've found to be The spirit you see out of the corner of your eye on last minute view, harmless but annoying. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Alan, on that one. They are really freaking annoying. My daughter in one house we lived in was on average pushed out of bed on 1 or 2 nights a week. It turned out that his bed was placed in front of the door way that we couldn't see, shifted the bed and no more problems. Still see it at times. That's really awesome, Gordon. That really is awesome. Do you still live in that house now, or have you moved from that house? The stone tape theory is part of residual hauntings. I think if they have passed really quickly, for example, car accident, heat trauma, maybe they don't know they have passed because their spirit may have been ripped out of them so fast. Just throwing it out there. No, I've got to agree with you, Maria. Yeah, I mean, every answer that everyone has said tonight has been really awesome. It's been bang on. So, let's keep up the good work of these answers. Okay, let's move on to our last one for the night, and we can carry this topic on over to the next night. Poltergeist hauntings. What are your takes on the poltergeist hauntings? No, but do visit there. Okay, so the house that you're living in now, Gordon, is a peaceful house. You've got no issues with it, no troubles. What are your guys' take on the poltergeist hauntings? This is the last topic for the night, so let's hear what your answers are when it comes to poltergeist hauntings. According to where I'm looking at tonight with Uncle Google, poltergeist hauntings are an escalated form of intelligent hauntings, but the spirit is often violent, threatening, and malevolent. The word poltergeist means noisy ghost from the German Poltergeist. Hey Shannon, how are you? Poltergeist hauntings most frequently focused around young adolescent girls, but affect the whole household or family. The activity usually starts out slowly and in a playful manner, but the increase in intensity slowly becoming more and more malicious. However, just as suddenly as poltergeist activity starts, it can abruptly end, never to be repeated. Poltergeists can show themselves in many different ways, including by throwing or moving objects, producing foul smells, turning lights or appliances on or off, and by making more screams and other loud noises. On rare occasions, it's been reported that poltergeists have intentionally attacked people by pushing, hitting, biting, or scratching them. I hear that water poltergeists are usually children. Yeah, I've heard that too, Maria, but I've never actually come across any hard fact to validate it, unfortunately. But if I do, then yeah, by all means. I mean, that's what I've heard too. But like I said, there has been no intelligent or 100% proof that it is children. What? Poultry hauntings quite violent as it increases in activity and then end. Yeah, that's what I just said, Mordinger. Apparently it just erupts and then it stops. Sometimes never to be repeated again. And to me, that's kind of weird. Why would they kick up and then all of a sudden just stop? What's the thing about that? Kind of like mischievous spirits, but putting it out there more. I wouldn't say mischievous. Poltergeist is quite frightening for some. It's quite violent. You know, mischievousism where people get bit or scratched. That's very violent when that happens. It's not mischievous at all. That is very, very bad to actually have happen to you. So, you know, are there any more before we say goodnight? All right, well, it's come to that time now. We've been on for an hour and 26 minutes. Um, I'd like to thank every single one of you for being here tonight. Must take a lot of energy to move stuff. Maybe they have to recharge. Who knows, Maria? You know, they could do as well. Alan, poltergeist is translated into noisy ghosts, usually caused by teens or emotional environment divorce. Angry teen death would be the most dangerous haunting that caused the most damage. It stops suddenly because the emotion in the room turns to fear. Husband and wife having a nasty argument, poltergeist starts up from the energy, people freak out and poltergeist stops. Hey, you could be onto something there, Alan. You know, love to know more about it. Hey Trisha, how you doing? So right now I am going to be signing off and I'd like to thank every single one of you that have come on here and joined me tonight. If you've just come in and you've missed the live feed, please watch this video and then you can send me any questions via private message and all that. Awesome, Claudia, learned so much. Thank you so much, Diana, and thank you for being a part of this forum tonight. Don't forget, we will be talking more about different types of hauntings tomorrow night. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is Anzac Day. Please, if you're going to go out to the dawn parade tomorrow, please do so. Remember those that have fallen, lest we forget. Tomorrow is Anzac Day for those of you who weren't sure. Um, please go out if you can to your parades. Please support the fallen. Please support your local RSA. Remember those tomorrow that gave up their life for us, that died for us, that bled for us. Remember those who have not just fallen, but who are still fighting their own battles, their own hell, still to this day. Remember those tomorrow. Anzac is not just a day where shops are closing and going to be opened up at lunchtime. Anzac is a very special day that we can all come together, not only as a community, not only as a city, but we come together as one, united as one. Not just here in New Zealand, ladies and gentlemen, but also remember our Anzac brothers and sisters from Australia. Remember those that fought with our soldiers, that bled with our soldiers, that were in the trenches together, who fought for us to make our life better. Remember those tomorrow on Anzac Day. Till tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a new time, 7:30 at night, so everybody can go and watch Shorty Street. Stacey, can you tell Janet to please put it all over the Paranormal Unity, both pages, and also Paranormal Life? There we will be going live from now on at 7:30 starting tomorrow night. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Lara. Thank you, Mordinger, Gordon, Stacey, everybody that has been here. And don't forget, all I ask, please, is to remember those tomorrow. Alan, awesome to see you here, bro. Diana, Trisha, Maria, Shannon, everyone who's been here tonight. Hopefully I'll get to see all of you here tomorrow night, 7:30, right here on Paranormal Unity Live. Until then, have a good night. Stay safe. God bless you all. Enjoy your evening.